Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jules, and today I'm going to be talking about how to turn fear into fuel. The world today is flooded with fears that feel impossible to escape. Politically, we're bombarded with messages that pushes us against each other, turning every election or policy debate into a life or death battle. Social media and news outlets amplify this, framing every issue as urgent and catastrophic, even when it's not. Algorithms thrive on outrage, pushing us deeper into echo chambers where fears of the other side festers. Financially, instability is a constant shadow. Prices for basics like rent, groceries, and healthcare keep rising, unfortunately, while jobs feel insecure. Automation and AI add another layer of anxiety, with headlines warning that robots might replace entire careers. For young adults, student loans and the pressures to keep up financially create a sense of being trapped in a race with no finish line. A 2023 study found that 67% of Gen Z feels financially dread daily, fearing they'll never achieve stability. Health and environmental fears weigh heavily as well. After years of pandemic chaos, even minor health scares trigger panic. Climate disasters, wildfires, floods, and extreme heat dominate the news, making the future feel uncertain. Eco-anxiety, a term coined by psychologists, now affects 60% of young adults who feel powerless against environmental collapse. And let's not forget the everyday toxins, microplastics in water, pollution in cities, and endless debates about what's safe to eat and what is safe to drink, or not safe, really. Technology, while revolutionary, feeds its own fears. We rely on phones and apps for everything, but privacy breaches, hacking, and AI's rapid growth makes it hard to trust the tools we depend on. Even social media, designed to connect us, fuels insecurity. Fear of judgment, rejection, or being canceled keeps many people from speaking their truth or pursuing creative dreams. A TikTok creator recently told me that they spent hours editing a video only to delete it because they're scared of the comments. On a personal level, fear of failure, loneliness, or not being enough haunts daily life. Perfectionism thrives in a world of filtered Instagram posts and LinkedIn success stories. Young adults face pressure to have their lives figured out by 25, while navigating dating apps, career pivots, and the myth of having it all. And the result is a generation paralyzed by comparison, afraid to take risks. Imagine a village, nestled deep in the mountains. Every home has a loyal guard dog, a protector bred to bark at wolves, thieves, and wildfires. For generations, these dogs saved lives. But over time, something shifted. The wolves disappeared, the thieves vanished, yet the dogs kept barking. It kept barking at shadows, at the wind, at children playing. The villagers grew exhausted, jumping at every growl, that eventually they forgot how to leave their houses. The dogs, once heroes, became jailers. Fear is that guard dog. It evolved to protect you, to sharpen your instinct when real danger strikes. But today, it's barking at the shadows. What if they judge me, people think? What if I fail? What if I'm not enough? The irony is that the very tool meant to safeguard your life is now robbing you of living it. So let's retrain that dog. Fear has two faces. It has the protector and the prison. And see, fear isn't evil, it's misdirected. Your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, can't tell the difference between a bear attack and a critical comment. It floods your body with cortisol either way. This primal response kept your ancestors alive, but today it's suffocating your potential. A Harvard study found that 85% of worries never actually happen, yet we let them dictate our choices, whether it's avoiding job applications, silencing opinions, or staying in unfulfilling relationships. See, fear is a compass, not a cage. It points to what matters. For years, I let my guard dog rule me. I'd film videos, then delete them. I'd wonder who would care. But I stopped. I stopped asking myself that question. And I started asking myself, what if this helps one person? So I post raw, unpolished clips, no fancy cuts. And the strange thing is that the more that I ignore that barking, the quieter that it got. Bob Proctor said it best. Fear is a liar wearing the uniform of logic. It disguises itself as practicality. Wait until you're ready, it says. But ready is a myth. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter on napkins while jobless. Oprah was fired from her first TV anchor role. Brene Brown's TED Talk on vulnerability was rejected as too emotional. She spoke anyway, and it's now one of the most viewed in history. They didn't wait for fear's permission. They tamed the dog and walked through the gate. So I will go over 5 steps of how you can reclaim that control. Number 1, name the shadow. Fear thrives in vagueness. The moment you say, I'm scared people will think I'm unqualified, you shrink that shadow into something you can outmaneuver. Write it down. Say it aloud. Watch it lose power. Number 2, feed courage. Starve that doubt. Your brain believes what you feed it. So every time you avoid a risk, you reward fear. And every time you act despite it, you actually strengthen that courage. So start small. Post whether it's a 20 or a 30-second video instead of a 10-minute masterpiece. You can send one pitch email before doubting yourself, or you can say, I'll try instead of I can't. Neuroscience shows that repeated action rewires neural pathways, and courage is a muscle. It's not a miracle. Number 3, the 5-year rule. Ask, will this fear matter in 5 years? Because most won't. The embarrassment of a quiet live stream, it'll be forgotten. The regret of not starting is actually eternal. It will haunt you. Number 4, redirecting the bark. Use fear as a signal, not a sentence. When your heart races before hitting publish on a video or on a post, recognize it. This matters to me. Channel that energy into double checking your message, but not deleting it. And number 5, mute the noise. Unfollow accounts that sell doom. Mute news alerts. Take a 24-hour screen detox. Not everything labeled urgent deserves your cortisol. Of all modern fears, judgment is the most pervasive. It's not just emotional, it's biological. When you imagine criticism, your amygdala floods your body with cortisol. This primal response once kept humans safe from predators, but today it's triggered by social media metrics or public speaking. A 10-year-old study at the University of Pennsylvania found that people who linked their work to a greater purpose reported 50% higher life satisfaction. So this means that purpose neutralizes fear's grip. Take Brene Brown. The TED Talk that I mentioned that was rejected as too emotional, she spoke anyway, and it sparked global movement on vulnerability. J.K. Rowling, that I mentioned as well faced 12 rejections before Harry Potter actually found a publisher. And this is because they asked themselves, what if it helps one person? Instead of what if they hate it? They change the questions to make sure that they move forward. They don't let that fear stop them altogether. And I'm glad that they did. I want you to become the master, not the prisoner. That guard dog works for you, so it's time to take back that leash. Fear isn't your enemy. It's just a signal. It shows you what matters. But when it becomes a constant soundtrack, it's time to change the station by focusing on what you can control, your choices, your mindset, and your next small step. So you can transform fear from a prison into fuel. And as Joe Dispenza says, your thoughts shape your biology. So choose thoughts that empower you, not imprison you. I hope that you enjoyed this video today. And if you did, please hit like and subscribe. And if you think that someone else may find it valuable, please share this video with them. Thank you so much for watching.